Devil may cry, taught me dark day. Watching my enemies fading away. Trading the light all the way from the day. Catch me a digging a grave. I'm a modern Johnny Cash. Button up, that's all black. San Diego.
We're gonna watch some of the Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens debate that happened the other day, because God bless Andrew Wilson for taking on the demon Candace Owens, the one out here spewing all of this hatred, all of this nonsense, turning people against Erica Kirk, making her life a living hell. Thank God for Andrew Wilson. I swear it's a public service. So we're going to cover some of it. We have to. It's our duty as Americans to indulge.
I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Of course. First thing out of her mouth, Israel involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, even though Charlie Kirk was one of the most pro-Israel faces out there in conservative politics.
And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
Okay.
I also
involvement.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you think you with full confidence, you think that
I think Israel's
France
involved.
and Israel.
Yeah. I mean, the person that gave me that thing that I reported said that French.
Who was that? Candace.
Foreign Legion were on the ground that day. Again, this would be at a professional limitation for me to then go.
The French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day, so it must have been Israel that killed Charlie Kirk.
And probe that information that I handed over. I can't do that. I'm not
But
the
you
United
don't have
States
any
government.
positive evidence of that.
Okay.
Right?
Liz, I don't. Can you just stop? It's actually just like annoying to hear you keep saying positive evidence. I've just asked me what I think. I just tell you, yes, I think they are
that's
involved.
That's a claim.
No, I said here's what I think.
I have every right to ask you about your claim.
Yeah, but
and if there's positive evidence
in
for
this
your
statement,
claim,
I literally just said I think, and I am allowed to think. And
yeah,
you
you're
keep
allowed
saying,
to think,
you have
but you're making a claim.
I have tons of positive evidence that I'm allowed to think.
I agree. You're allowed to think.
Okay. So
nobody's disputing whether or not Candace Owens is allowed to think. What I'm asking is
but
you have
what's your issue then? What is your issue with the statement?
Evidence.
I think that Israel is involved.
That's not just what you said. You said
no. She has said all kinds of crazy things, and I think she has made definite statements and claims.
I did say I think
it's with full confidence.
Yes.
You would think that if you had full
Can you have confidence
confidence
to think when you think?
If I said, for instance, I think I'm going to be late to work, right? With full confidence, I would say my evidence for that is that I'm 20 minutes away and I need to be there in 5.
Andrew,
that's how you would know whether or not you had full confidence.
I'm just going to tell you something.
Hang on, let me finish.
Sure.
If it was the case that I said I have full confidence I'm going to be late to work, I would say my evidence that I'm going to be is that work is 20 minutes away, right? And I have to be there in 5. So I have full confidence. That's why I would think that. So I'm asking, if you think that Israel and France were involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you say with full confidence, I'm just asking for the evidence, or at least walk me through the mindset of why it is that you could think that with evidence.
I actually don't have to walk you through why I think.
No, you don't have to. But the thing is that you're leading a bunch of people in the United States to believe something that you have shoddy evidence for at best, and in my opinion, zero evidence for.
I can give you some.
You know who shot Charlie Kirk? Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk.
That I think with full confidence. I think with full confidence that you lost the substance of this debate, and now you're moving toward things that I have said that I think, which I can do. I'm allowed to think that.
To this debate.
Actually, would you like to remind him of what our debate claims actually were?
And would you like to remind you said I could ask you about any of these things to my heart's content?
Feel free, but you do not get to structure how I'm allowed to reply or ask me why are you allowed to
I'm not structuring how you're
think.
allowed to reply. I'm just asking you direct questions.
I have full confidence that
Candace, just give us something concrete. Sediment even. It doesn't even have to be concrete. It could be soil. Give us something solid-ish.
You do not feel that you represented your claim well. And so now what you came prepared to do is to present yourself like a professor of fallacies.
I just want to know.
And to say, you're not allowed to say that. You can't.
Who said that?
You say whatever you want. Nobody's disputing that. I'm asking.
It seems like you are disputing it. I think that when this is all said and done, I've already explained to you. I explained at the beginning of this why I think Israel is ultimately going to be proven to have involvement in this. I just explained to you in the middle, and now you're wanting me to structure the sentence or provide evidence. You don't have to. You're just allowed to think, and I've explained to you my thought process.
See, she doesn't have anything yet. She led. She's been the leader of a campaign to pretty much destroy Erica Kirk's life. And then when you sit her down and ask her, why she believes these things. She can't explain a single thing. Nothing. So one thing that we can accrue 100% from this is that Nathan Livingston, aka Milk Bar TV, is a freaking gangster, because the stuff that he comes up with, chef's kiss.
She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth.
I never said that. Obviously, in the context that he put it in, we're going to need to hear the full sentence, because you're trying to context it in a way that is just untrue. I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know.
How? Like, where? That's absolutely insane, but she has gotten so many people to believe her crap.
I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And instead, we're going to be sued. I guess, is this...
You deserve it. You absolutely deserve to be sued. If it wasn't so hard to sue people for defamation in the United States, you would be like the top of the list of people who deserve it. Because all of the things that you say absolutely have the power to destroy lives, and at the very least, hurt people.
Going to be the pathway forward? You're going to start murdering more people in broad daylight for knowing? Is that our consequence? Is that like the slave consequence?
Yeah, we'll know if that ever happens to you. If you get murdered, Candace, we'll know for sure that it was the Jews, Erica Kirk, the French Foreign Legion, as well as Bridget McCrone's penis.
Is that like, catching a slave and cutting off their limbs?
It's just insane.
People have watched the show. They know exactly what I've said. And I tend to stand by what I've said. And I do stand by everything that I've said. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk, has the power to shut me up. There's nobody that has the capacity.
Nobody could shut you up. Only God could shut you up, Candace. Other than that, nobody's going to shut you up. All you do is yap.
To get me to shut up about this, except for Erica Kirk and my husband. I'm not going to stop unless Erica Kirk asks me to stop. If Erica Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet. Stop. I just do not accept any of that. I was in this aggrieved stage, and I really didn't poke my head up until weeks later when I could.
You have been on so many vacations this last year. You went to Russia, I believe Cuba. Well, I don't know Cuba, but she's been to multiple different countries and vacations and holidays since Charlie Kirk has died. Like, she is partying it up.
Like, stop crying about it every second. Charlie Kirk, my friend, is dead. First, this is fantastic.
Yeah, just your friend. A woman lost her husband, the father of her children.
Preborn is doing this to remind you guys about Pure Talk. Also remind you guys about American financing.
No, but could you imagine it? Because his kids are so young. And imagine that. Mom, where's dad? Because they're too young to realize loss and death and the fact that he'll never come back. Do you think that's a question that she's had to listen to from her kids? I guarantee you it has. Mommy, where's dad? You couldn't imagine what it feels like to go through something like that. And then to attack this woman. It's absolutely demonic.
Also remind you guys about GNO Land. Also telling you guys about Just Thrive. You can head over to our website, CandaceOwens.com. You can sign up, buy yourself a hat. I was totally in a cloud of grief. Okay, you remember I had to go away to Wyoming just to breathe. Like, what am I doing wrong here that I have to go away? And
I have to go to Wyoming just to breathe? There's a lot of people who can't just go on a trip just to breathe, because I'm breathing right now. I don't have to go to another state to do that. And we've all lost people. Somebody lost her husband. You're just a grifter. Like, people throw around the term grifter all the time, but Candace Owens fits that to an absolute T, because when Charlie Kirk died, that became the entire focus of her show. She had to actually come up with topics before, and now, boom, she has a show figuring out who killed Charlie. It was Tyler Robinson. But the thing is, she could run a whole true crime-esque podcast about her friend. If you ask Charlie's friends, she tortured him. The only reason why he continued to make her believe that he was her friend was so she didn't try to ruin his life like she does to everyone else, like narcissists do.
Cry for a long time, and everyone else just kind of seemed giddy. That's the only way I can describe it, like giddy. That emotion shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible, actually. I certainly didn't suspect Turning Point USA would be, as I believe, involved in a cover-up. It doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in plotting to kill him. And I've never said that. Cam Higbee is on the payroll of Turning Point USA, the very organization that just had its leader assassinated in broad daylight in front of the entire world. Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved.
No, there really hadn't. All you need is a gun and a roof. Tyler Robinson pulled it off. He just pulled the trigger. It's not a crazy, it's not like it happened in the Pentagon.
To have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candace, you didn't.
He's like, no, you didn't. Hang on. No, you didn't.
Say that.
There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
Hey, when you got peers holding your ass accountable, you're just done. Done.
That's what you said.
She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died.
Never happened. In the event of his untimely death, he just, in the third notebook, he was like, oh, and if I accidentally get shot on campus, here's what you should do. Call Erica, and then after you call Erica, come find this notebook. And if during this process of our imagination, common sense comes on and we're like, oh, but wait, Charlie, was he like a boy genius? He's a pretty bright kid. Wouldn't he have maybe formalized that succession plan outside of like a diary? Never happened. And thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2, and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain.
No, seriously. God bless Milk Bar TV. Nathan Livingston, we were talking about Andrew Wilson doing a service, but Nathan Livingston consistently does a service to our country and just journalism as a whole by compiling stuff like this. Not just to Erica, but of other things I've covered in the past. Like the stuff with Tucker, I think last episode or a couple episodes ago.
Why there was no exit wound. Maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below, right? Maybe we should be looking below. People are doing very, what I would say, credible.
She has made millions off of this.
Videos, people that certainly have the credibility are ballistics experts that are saying that what we see in the front is an exit wound, not an entry wound. Theory that is being floated that Charlie was shot from the back. And I'm telling you this 100%. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front. And at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. What I can state rather unequivocally is that there is now more evidence, more evidentiary support that Charlie may have been killed by a rigged explosive device that was on him. I never dismissed the exploding mic theory. I was always clear to my team that I thought there was something there. And then my producer has a note that there are a lot of comments asking about the microphone theory. Here's what I will say about that. When I looked at image from the side, the microphone is still on him afterwards. So like when you see it front, it looks like it kind of disappears. But then
he was shot by Tyler Robinson, 30-06.
It kind of shifts when you look at the the perspective slightly to the left. You see that it actually stays on him. And it's just
he was shot by Tyler Robinson with a 30-06. It was his grandfather's rifle. Like they copped to the crime.
In the fold, I would imagine if anything did sling into him with that kind of a force, it would fall off. And I can tell you it doesn't fall off. Yeah, I never changed my mind. Maybe we should be looking below. Charlie was shot from the back. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front. Charlie may have been killed by a rigged explosive device that was on him. I'm certain he is going to probably be doing a lot of interviews in the near future. I just cannot see how this would lead to anything other than a full confession from the government.
Yeah, it was the government.
About the military's involvement in his assassination. Like I said, I'm going to put together a fundraiser for you. And I do believe you are a missing piece of this. I don't know what comes next, but I just want you to know that like you have an ally in me, and I hope you see that I am a fighter. And when I see good people and bad things happen to them, I will fight. We didn't know.
No, you're just a liar, lady. Just a liar.
What it was going to lead to. And I was like, I couldn't have been more deferential in saying.
And also potentially addicted to amphetamines.
That this could literally lead to nothing. Like, hey, this guy said this.
That looks like amphetamines to me.
Whatever. And then all of a sudden you guys every day are obsessing.
Not that I would know or anything.
Over it. Well, let it go. I had him on the show. That was it. Charlie Kirk stopped speaking to Victor Marks entirely. Their relationship, unfollowed each other. I've spoken to several people about this. They didn't know what the falling out was about, but there was a very big falling out between Charlie and Victor Marks. He had completely stopped talking to him. They had stopped following each other. You never had a falling out with Charlie?
No. He still follows me.
They said it was a period.
Liar!
It was the person had said it was a period. They weren't saying that it was forever. And hopefully we will get some answers from Victor Marks about what his falling out was with Charlie Kirk. if that was ever patched out, actually. Very small group, exclusive group of donors in Aspen in August. And thus far, 2 do not remember Charlie saying that. And also, update to what I said to Baron yesterday. Another donor who was at the Aspen event does remember, actually says that they do remember Charlie mentioning Erica. If, situation, something happened, that Erica would know what to do. So that seems to check out. The donor, I think, is a very good person. And there is a donor that does specifically remember that. 3 out of the 4 people, and one was a couple, did not remember Charlie saying this. The 4th person.
I think we've made it to the point to where we can safely say that Candace Owens is a liar. Candace Owens is shady. Candace Owens is an opportunist. Candace Owens has said all of this stuff to put herself in the center of a quote-unquote conspiracy so she has unending money from wine moms who love a little bit of a juicy little morsel, something like straight out of a soap opera. And that's all it is. She's really a genius when it comes down to it, but it's just, no, she isn't even a genius. She's just a narcissist. I'm sick of it. You, Tucker, Candace and Tucker. Ugh. I've been Sparky speaking. Have a good weekend. Like, share, follow, subscribe. All of that.